Hello and welcome to today's Coppice Dev stream. We are going to be spending some time on this kind of a sunny Easter Monday here in northwest of England, working on accessibility. We tried to make a start on Saturday, but unfortunately my brain did not want to work. So we managed to get through an accessibility audit, going through testing things, creating a bunch of tickets, and what we're going to do now is actually implement some more of those. We've got a few basic things fixed, or at least determined some of those seem to be some voiceover weirdness. So now we're going to fix some of the main bugs, and the first of those is going to be fixing page resizing handles. So let's take a look at where we were last time. Hey Sinister, how are you doing today? I am not too bad, thanks. I'm just still dealing with hay fever, but other than that, my brain seems to be working a lot better. And I had a nice Sunday off from any other work, painting one of the walls in my office. So I've now got a nice green wall in front of me, and I'm waiting for the paint to do another wall. So slowly getting the house back together and then getting the office all done, because once the painting's done, all I need to do is get the computers sorted. And then my office should finally be finished. Yeah, painting's very satisfying, and I mean, I'm only really going around and doing like individual walls as feature walls. Because it's a new build, all the walls have just been painted white. I mean, I could potentially have done a better job on the top of this wall, looking at it, because it's the annoying thing where the corners aren't exactly straight, they're a little bit rounded. So I could probably tidy that up a bit at some point, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this looks, and slowly over the next few weeks I'm going to be getting the rest of my house done finally. Now that I've finally got the energy and the motivation to actually decorate the house after moving in and getting over the exhaustion of moving. Right, so what we want to do is open our sample document. In here, I believe if we switch on voiceover.
Voiceover on in Welcome to Coppice. Text page group. In bottom left handle.
Right, so they seem to be flipped around for some reason. So the question is, why are they flipped? Let's take a look. So we update our accessibility. We want to add our handle. Want to update the top left resize handle. Move a layout page. Font is resized top left. Hey Coco type. Accessibility on the Mac is something you need to learn way more about. And just hope and pray that if it's working on iOS, it'll be fine on Mac too. If you're using Catalyst, I think it should. Because I think you're still using the same APIs. If you're using AppKit, it's somewhat different how it works. It's very much an older API. I say older, it's all based on older APIs. There's probably about, I think, 3 different accessibility APIs that they've had over time. Because the problem is, this used to be working. And now it isn't. Update the top left with the component. Pass all those in. One element. We get the element from there. We either set it there or we create it. Then we want to get rectangle layout frame, component, that accessibility frame in parent space. Put the accessibility frame here. Problem is, it's getting the bottom first. Let's have a look at this again. Go in,
VoiceOver on Coppice.
have things selected,
Document Coppice doc window.
and what you can do when VoiceOver is enabled, you just hit Command F5 and that enables VoiceOver.
Actions available. Perform this page's action to toggle
And then
use arrow key
all
to
you do
stop
to navigate around is, it's usually the VoiceOver keys, which is Control and Option,
You are
and then you
currently on
can sort of
Welcome to
move
Toggle Canvas lists. Welcome to Coppice.
around
Toggle Canvas,
different
Canvas, Welcome to Coppice. Toggle Canvas,
controls with left and right. We can navigate into and out of the hierarchy with up and down.
3 items.
So, for example, I'm here with the page selected, and if I do Control Option down,
List size.
Oh.
To exit this group, press Ctrl out of canvas vertical split canvas and in canvas editor group. Toggle canvas.
oh no,
list.
sorry. Control Option up and down, just move up and down. It's Control Option Shift up and down, move you in. So Control Option Shift down, I'm now interacting with this.
Bottom left handle.
Right, so we get the bottom left handle,
Bottom right.
get the bottom right handle,
Top right handle.
at the top right handle,
Page top right page bottom welcome close bottom left close.
don't even get a bottom,
Top right handle. You are
don't even get a
page
top left handle.
Welcome to close bottom left handle. You are currently on the handle.
Why is
Inside
that
group.
bottom left?
Welcome
Why
to
is
top
that
right,
bottom
page,
right?
top right handle.
Why don't we have
You
a
are
top
currently on the handle.
left?
Inside a group. VoiceOver off.
Right. What we're now going to do is we're going to open Accessibility Inspector. As usual, it is broken. because they have set their constraints up wrong and they have never fixed it in about 3 or 4 years. You'd think they would, because it's bound to be a simple fix, but no, they don't. Alright. So we have a text page. Right, close page button. Welcome page. Get a top right handle. Page content. Bottom left. Bottom right. Okay, so for some reason one of the children isn't being created. And then it's the children in navigation. Navigation. Is it a new thing? It is not. So why if any navigation should match all the suitable for navigation? That's the bug that I'm referring to, Cooktype, where it suddenly shrinks to being too narrow, and you've got to. It invariably does it, and I'm 99% certain that the issue is they've got the constraints set up wrong for auto layout, which should be an easy fix. And it happens that often that you would have thought they would have fixed it by now, but apparently not. Right, so right, so I guess that is not being set for some reason. Right, self dot navigation order. Let children equal that, and I'll do children accessibility. I wonder if that's something that's changed in how they're using that in macOS 12. What's that complaining about? It's gonna compile. Should do. Nope, it doesn't. What? If you write element, make sure to print my element. Make sure I have something else. Problem is, needs to be an array of things that conform to NS accessibility element. which they do. Nope, NS accessibility element conforms to the NS accessibility protocol, which is different to the NS accessibility protocols, which are, you've got NS accessibility element up there. And that doesn't conform. Okay. Accessibility element protocol. Let's build and run, see it complain. Result of accessibility identifiers different optionality than required by protocol and its accessibility element protocol. You have accessibility identifier. Oh, have I got a... Don't I have a feedback for this? This is... this stuff. I'm pretty sure at some point I had a feedback for this mess. And up tools. Sure, there was something. Inaccessibility. Oh no, that was a completely different one. And its accessibility layout area, accessibility focused UI element, has a return type of any, but the documentation states it can return nil. Yeah, the nullability of the accessibility APIs on the Mac is odd. There are lots of things where they explicitly state things cannot be nil, and some things can be nil. So what we'll do is accessibility identifier, and we're going to return self.accessibility identifier or size. Yes. What about the over? Oh, that needs super. Build failed. It was that over. Hey. Alright, so we need the override. Doesn't conform to NS accessibility element. Oh, because it can be optional. Oh, is that going to actually be the problem? Is it not that? Or do we still need this? Was it optionals all along? Okay, I guess we need that. Hey. Apple, we really care about accessibility. Also Apple, make mistakes like this. I believe that requires a choice. I learned the NS accessibility element. Right, so hopefully we're now setting things up in the correct navigation order.
More. Out of canvas list. Group. Vertical splitter. Canvas editor. Group. In canvas editor. Group. In welcome to Coppice. Text page. Group. Top right. And page bottom left. Bottom right. Handle. Bottom right.
Okay, so we have all the handles in now.
Bottom left. Bottom right. Handle. Bottom left.
They're still in the wrong place.
Voiceover on.
Why are they flipped? So we're updating the element. No idea what happened then to cause all that beeping. So have our resize handle. We go here, we create an element. Let's make this code a bit bigger. Can all see it. Right, so we create our element. That gets our mountain layout frame, blah blah blah. So that's set the page ID, the component, the delegate. Then we do our layout page, so we update the frame, and it needs to be parent space and then view space. Now what is confusing to me is that if we're using the screen rect and that was flipped, then the things shouldn't be in the correct position, but they are. So is it the framing parent space that's wrong? How has that got flipped? Let's have a look. Yes, let's see. Swift is still brand new. A tiny little company like Apple can't be expected to update all their libraries by now. Yeah, it's not the best. We could really do a lot better with updating stuff, but right. So if I set that, then what I want to do is we've got top handle here. Right. Frame is 142498. So that's about right. So it's in the correct position. Do I need to flip them? So we've got the accessibility frame there. Oh, set accessibility frame. That- Hmm. I think what we need is switch back to Coppice. Go here. Go there. I'm gonna stuff out our breakpoints. So which component do we have? Top left. The layout frame. It is at point 10, 5, 8, 8. Okay, so then we go here, and we want to do an accessibility. That's screen rect from view self layout frame. So that should be it. 1092. about there. 9, 14. Way down there. So it does seem it doesn't take into account is flipped. I wonder if that's a bug? I'm pretty sure this used to work. Because I doubt I would have implemented all of this and got that so wrong on macOS 11. So if it's saying the top left is coming from there, it's basically doing it wrong way. So if I do layout frame, you're gonna get the let out frame coordinate ability. That doesn't take into account flipped state. So what if we did frame in screen space equals self dot convert no, that will do it to window coordinates. One sec. Now let's try it. Self convert layout frame to L. Okay. Do NS. A dot convert vect from backing self dot convert to backing layout. Okay, that doesn't work. Do convert layout frame. That looks a bit more promising. No, it doesn't. Pixel line coordinates of a display. Care about that. What we want. Window that has. Aha! Convert rect to screen. Convert window coordinates. That's the one we want. So self.view dot no self.window dot convert rect screen self.convert layout frame to nil. Okay, so none of this takes into account being flipped. That is saying it's at 747,640, which about there. Which is the correct position. And the other is saying 1092. I 940. So that's correct. Okay. By 9. Oh, don't tell me you... Protocol. Accessibility frame. Elements frame in screen coordinates. In screen coordinates. So why is it... that one? Accessibility elements. Accessibility frame in parent space? That what is messing it up? I hope this is all making as little sense to you as it does to me. Right, so we have our top left handle here. Okay, so it was that. So apparently that was screwing everything up. Let's get rid of that. And then let's run through voiceover.
Voiceover off.
That's okay, because I haven't turned voiceover on, so...
Voiceover on more. Out of canvas verticals canvas editor group. You are currently on in canvas editor group. In welcome to Coppice. Top right. In top right handle.
There we go.
Currently on the handle.
That
Insert
resizes.
out of top right handle. Top left handle out of canvas editor in canvas editor group. In welcome to top right page bottom left bottom right page top right handle. You are current welcome to Coppice. Close page close welcome top right handle. You
Hey.
voiceover off.
So we actually have that fixed now. So let's get that committed. Where are we? Page resize handles are flipped. Yeah, mixing coordinate systems is a pain, but it was... Why was it flipping them? Because it was like it was using... It's like it was treating it as top left for the screen coordinates rather than bottom left as screen coordinates should be, but I mean, it's not the worst mixing of coordinates we've had. The best mixing of coordinates was when we were doing all of the image rotation, because different APIs use different origins. Some use top left, some use bottom left. The problem there is, if you are rotating by 90 degrees or you're rotating by minus 90 degrees, which origin you use flips whether you're going clockwise or anti-clockwise in the positive direction. So if your, I believe if your origin is in the bottom left, 90 degrees takes you anti-clockwise. Where was it? What was that? I actually had a sketch somewhere. Yeah, this was it. So this here depends on whether the origin is the top left or the bottom left. Rotating by 90 degrees rotates in opposite directions because you've effectively flipped the coordinate system along the x-axis. You do that, which is a lot of fun when you're needing to use multiple of those in at the same time, so that I effectively have code where sometimes I'm rotating by 90 degrees and sometimes I'm rotating minus 90 degrees to perform the same rotation operation, because I'm rotating different parts of it that are using different coordinate systems. I believe I've got the all the rectangles for all the hotspots and everything, and the crop have to rotate by one, like they all rotate in one way, like a positive. They use a positive for like 90 degrees to rotate left, whereas I believe it's rotating the actual image needs a minus 90 degrees to rotate left. So yeah, coordinate systems are fun. Like, oh, geometry, that's enough pain as it is. What if we made it so that you've got to work in multiple coordinate systems at the same time? Because your life is far too easy. So let's test a few of these other bugs. So page frames are incorrect and the opening page. I wonder if some of these are going to be a similar issue. So, right, open pages.
Voiceover on it. Text pages. Paragraph inspector. Pages. Text page. Link pages. Text pages. Pages. Paragraph inspector. Text pages. Welcome to Coppice. Font inspector. Image page. Font inspector. Welcome to text pages. Paragraph inspect pages. Paragraph inspector. Pages. Paragraph pages. Text paragraph font inspector. Paragraph text pages. Welcome to Coppice. Text page. Group. Welcome to text pages. Welcome to Coppice. Text page. Group. Actions available. Perform this page's action to toggle selection. Use arrow keys on a selected page to move it. Interact with the page to edit and resize it. You are currently on a group inside a scroll area. To select page.
Okay, see you later, Cocotype. Hope you sleep well. Yeah, it's not best getting to 7 AM and not having slept, so hope you manage to get some sleep and hope the rest of your day goes well when you wake up again. Let's... So this is where things get tricky. Because... if you go to the right...
Text pages. Text. Welcome to Coppice. Text page. Group. Actions available. Text page. Welcome to Coppice. Text pages. Text page.
It's going to things there. So if I was to shift that down to there,
Welcome to paragraph.
and it goes to paragraph. If I shift that down, shift that down,
Welcome to pages. Text font inspector. Image text
then it
pages.
works correctly.
Text page.
I think that's done
Actions available.
by
Perform this page's
voiceover.
Voiceover on.
That would be in, I believe, Canvas. Okay, so we have that there. Why is this disabled?
Voice. Canvas verticals. Canvas editor. Group. In Canvas editor. Group. In layout area. Pages. Text page. Font inspector. Paragraph. Font inspect. Text pages. Font paragraph. Font inspector. Image page. Link from text pages. Group. 1 updated item. Actions of 1 update text pages. Text page font paragraph font text welcome to Coppice. Text welcome to text pages. Text page welcome to text font inspect pages. Text paragraph font inspect text pages. Text welcome to Coppice. Text in welcome to Coppice. Top right page bottom out of welcome text pages. Font inspect pages. Paragraph paragraph page text welcome to Coppice. Welcome to text page font pages. Paragraph inspector image page linked from text pages. Group voiceover off.
Yeah, I think for this, that's going to require talking to some people. I haven't had a chance to talk to some people about the accessibility yet. That is the page frame. So what I think I may need to do this is the problem. Some of this is sort of technically it's accessible, but it's not great. So I think what I may do for this release is get stuff to the point where it is technically like can do everything, but it's not ideal. And then what I will probably do is get some actual voiceover users and do some user testing with them and talk with them and see how to make something like this accessible. Because the key thing is I can come up with ways to make this accessible, but I don't use voiceover every day. And Apple can give all the advice they like, but it's going to be far easier to talk to people who actually use voiceover and get a sense of how would you want this to work? What would you want to have happen? So I think that is the approach I'm going to take, where I try and make as much of what we have as accessible and as good as possible, but there's still a lot of polish that's needed. I think we need to spend time on that, but I need to spend time working with people to do that properly. There's no point in doing stuff incorrectly and then having to change it later. It's better to get it done properly. So what we will do is our page frames we're going to leave, but we are going to rename this. So it's navigating pages, not follow arrow. Give it possible voiceover navigation. Canvas, take arrows. Because it's a question of whether we'd need some degree of custom action or something. Because what ideally you would have is it would say, because I believe it says
Voiceover on Coppice. Sample document Coppice doc window. Welcome to Coppice. Text page group has keyboard focus. Actions available. Perform this page's action to toggle selection. Use arrow
arrow keys on selected page to move it. Interact with the page. That doesn't resize it. So you can.
Welcome to Coppice. Text page group. One update. One update. One up. One up. One up. One updated item. One updated. One update. One updated item. One updated. 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 One updated item.
I mean, I suppose solution would be some sort of UI or hotkey thing, where if you have something selected, you can just navigate to the next thing, and it just reads out what the link pages are. But again, this is something where you really need to talk to people. When you start getting to these more advanced things, you need user testing, because unless you are using VoiceOver yourself, you're not going to get it right, and you're basically just guessing at that point. So I'm going to move that to backlog. Let's see, open pages aren't added to the accessibility hierarchy. So for this one,
Voice page content in text. Text in text. Bullet. Link. You end of text. Out of text. Out of out of page content. Out of page. Creating a page. Paragraph. New page button. Image.
okay, so they are added. So
Voice
that was obviously just me doing things incorrectly. So we will reject that. So fix page frames, fix opening page. So that's done, that's done, that's done. Okay, we have a few more things to do. So let's update our tasks. Our first thing, accessibility, drop handle. See? Selecting hotspots. Working hotspots. Editing hotspots. And creating hotspots. For creating hotspots, what I'm just going to do for now is probably do some custom actions, where the custom action for square and circle is just create, and for the polygon probably just throw like 4, 6, 8 point ones on, and then you can go and edit them. And then I can talk with VoiceOver users about what they would actually prefer. So, up handle. What we probably want is, we have our resize handle accessibility element, so we want something similar to this for our crop handle. We go and bring up our crop handles. We probably want something that is just going to be a square rectangle, square, rectangle. And then we're just going to shift those around just like we do in the canvas. So have a thing. Let's have a ponder of how exactly we want this to work. So our steps for this is we want to get our elements on screen. And then what this basically does is we set the accessibility frame, and when that happens, when we're calling the delegate, we basically tell our delegate we did move it. And the delegate, if it's a canvas element view, where we do a accessibility resize, which tells the layout engine we want to resize this, and it ensures things are updated. So what we're going to do is have something similar to this. I could probably abstract a lot of this. Because we could have a page resize subclass that just adds those properties on. And then this can just cast to it, which it should always come back true. Because we need all the other stuff to be the same. Because you need your crop handles on it for crop one. Yeah, I think doing it that way. And the other option is having a context. Where you can add a context struct, but the struct is an any. But then you got to cast that, but I suppose you're casting the thing anyway, so... Okay, let's go for that. So I'm just going to quickly refill my glass of water, and when I get back, we'll get that implemented. And that should hopefully be a relatively quick operation. Maybe take about an hour, if that, to get implemented, but we will see. So I will be right back in a sec. Oh, and yep, I will do some stretches as well, because always good to remember to get all your stretches in. Make sure you battle that RSI. I'm very good at doing my stretches in the morning for stretching my neck out, but I'm not very good at remembering to do my stretches on my hands and my arms. But get those stretches done, and it saves you a lot of pain and a lot of trips to the physio. At some point I am looking at potentially getting a new ergonomic keyboard, because I've got the MS Sculpt and I keep looking at, let me bring it up on screen. So I currently have one of these, an MS Sculpt, where it's a split ergonomic keyboard and you've got your separate numpad and everything. And these are great, except for a few reasons. Reason number one, they don't have Mac drivers. They are... They basically, for the Mac, I'm having to use an app called Caribbean Elements to get all the function keys and stuff working, and several of the keys don't work at all. You don't get your caps lock light, you don't get any battery notification or anything like that. So that's a downside. Another downside with the MS Sculpt, the Wi-Fi range is awful. So I currently have, with its wireless receiver, rather than having it plugged in, I have a USB A to A extension cable, one of which is plugged into my computer. The other end is blue tacked right underneath the keyboard with the wireless receiver right next to it. So it's effectively a wired keyboard. And the other problem with it, as anyone who has used the Microsoft Sculpt will attest, they break after about a few years, if that. So you have to keep buying them. Like, they're built really well. We've got a really good action, but the keys just start going. And it's a problem because ergonomic keyboards, I find them fantastic. It takes a little while to get used to an ergonomic keyboard, but I love them. Hi Nunchi, welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well today. We're just discussing some ergonomic keyboards before I go and get a fresh drink. But yeah, so the MS Sculpt is my favourite keyboard, despite the fact it has all these many flaws. Because it's a good ergonomic keyboard, it's not that expensive, it has the right sort of curvature. Because the key thing with an ergonomic keyboard is that not only is it split, it's sort of curved, so it's flat at the ends but then curves up towards the center. So when you hold your hands out in front of you, almost like you're a zombie walking, you'll notice that your fingers naturally curve. You don't hold them straight. That if you try to keep your, like, twist your arms to make your fingers straight, you can feel a bit of tension, but if you just relax them into a natural position, they're curved. And so ergonomic keyboards tend to have that natural curve on them. They also, the thing that's terrible with many keyboards is keyboards, like normal ones, tend to have the back tilt, like the back be higher, and it's almost like a wedge shape where the lowest bit is at the bit closest to you. So it's basically sloped towards you. Whereas what you really want is for it to be sloped away from you, because that again is more ergonomic. So I have one of these MS Sculpts. It feels good. The key action's good. I mean, if you like mechanical keyboards, it's not great because it's a triplet key with scissor switches. But for me, it's fine. It has stuff, and one of the big innovations is the fact that the numpad is separate, because that is absolutely fantastic. It gets out your way when you don't need it, and when you do need it, like when I'm doing my accounts and stuff, I've just got this numpad that I can just quickly breeze through. The mouse is naff, don't use mouse. But this is good, except for those issues of the software is not, well, non-existent. The wireless receiver is bad, and they break every so often. It's one of those things of it's like, this is terrible, but it's also excellent. So what I'm actually looking at is potentially a Logitech one, because Logitech, oh, I didn't want mice, I want keyboards. Logitech released an ergonomic keyboard not too long ago, the Ergo K860. Now, it's more expensive than the Sculpt, because I think the Sculpt you can get it for like 60, 70 pounds, whereas this is 110. However, you can see already from this image, it's designed for Mac and Windows. You have Command and Option, Option Start, and if I go and find QWERTY, not going to let me. No. Yeah, that's broken. But it has your Mac and Windows stuff on there. You also, can't really see very well. Let's go up to here. You have various keys at the top that are useful. All of these are fully customizable using their software. It has a similar padded thing at the bottom here. This doesn't detach from the keyboard. This is just fixed onto it. But the key things are, it has the Mac software. It uses the Logitech Options software. So this is designed for the Mac. Like, technically the MS Sculpt doesn't officially support the Mac. It just works as a standard keyboard, and you can use other stuff to make all the function keys and stuff work. Whereas the Logitech one has official support. Second thing, it uses the Logitech unified receiver. And if you have ever used any Logitech stuff, you know that the Logitech unified receiver is possibly the best wireless receiver you can get. It just works incredibly well. It would also free up a port for me, because I already use one for my MX Master mouse. So I could use the same receiver for this keyboard. It would get rid of this wire that's dangling from my wireless keyboard. Now, I don't know about how long they last. I don't know about the build quality. I don't know what they feel like. But I'm tempted to try it out, because there is another advantage to this, which are these three buttons here. Because much like my MX Master, where I have a button on the bottom where I can flip between three devices, there are buttons here that let you flip between devices. So I could potentially set this up where I have one is connected to my Mac Studio, 2 is connected to my iMac across the room, and 3 connects via Bluetooth to my iPad sat on my desk. So if I want to use my keyboard and I'm on my main computer, but I've got my iPad there and I just want to quickly type something on the iPad, I could just press a button and the keyboard would switch over to the iPad. So that would be quite exciting, because then I could basically use the same keyboard on 2 computers and a iPad in the room. So I'm really tempted to get one to try it out and see what it's like. I suppose worst case scenario, I just return it, but I'm really tempted, because if it feels good, then then it basically solves all the problems with the sculpt. The only downside is the fact that it's a full keyboard. You don't get, like with the MS Sculpt, you don't get this separate numpad, which is fantastic. It's probably one of the best features of it. So it means you need a bit more space, like your arms a bit further off to the side with your mouse. But I may be able to live with that to get all the other benefits. I mean, you also get your full like home end keys and stuff here, rather than them being, because currently they are shoved down the side here with your arrow keys shoved in. So you get all the full ones up here. So it's something I'm going to try, but yeah. So you've not yet tried an ergonomic keyboard. I feel like you have to try it to really feel the benefit. Let me make a difference if the keyboard can detect that. So if you want to go really high end, you can get all sorts of like really fancy ergonomic keyboards where they're really curved and they're almost like at more of a like 45-degree angle. So you're using it like that, where they also are two separate keyboards essentially for the different halves, rather than just being a keyboard that has a split in the middle. It is a fully separate keyboard, and I think those are technically even better. But going from a regular keyboard to something like the Sculpt or the Logitech Ergo, where it's just a basic curved keyboard, that makes a huge difference. I haven't used the more advanced ones, and from what I understand from people, they do make an even bigger difference over a standard keyboard, but they are generally more expensive, they're harder to find, so especially if you're on a budget, one of these keyboards is better. They also have generally better software support for the devices that they work on. So yeah, I mean, I like them. You can get them where they have different arrangements of keys and so on, so you can go I mean, let's just search for ergonomic keyboard and let's see some of the see, when you get to ergonomic, you get a lot of these come out. This one here was the Natural Ergonomic 4000, which was my previous favorite keyboard. But you get split ones like this where they're fully split, but they're not really curved or anything. See if I can find. Get some like this where they're really curved and all over the place. Some like this one where you have all of your function keys and stuff there in easy reach, all designed to try and minimize how much you move your hands. So just simply splitting the keyboard doesn't necessarily do a lot. It's the curvature and how it works. It's basically trying to make the keyboard fit your hand as much as possible, rather than you having to adjust your hand, your wrists and everything to fit the keyboard. I'm trying to see, because this is where you start getting to some of the more advanced curved ones, where you can see that they're curved in all sorts of weird ways. The split doesn't fully eliminate the need for the curve, because if I like have a straight keyboard and stick my fingers on it, if you wait until you get one or two fingers on, you realize that, I mean, for me, if I just use the side, the numpad, which is flat, put it at an angle and put my fingers on it, I can feel that the pressure immediately goes on my ring finger and middle finger, and I just have to put that little bit more pressure on for my little finger and my index finger to touch the keys. Whereas if I do the same on the natural ergonomic, there's far less pressure not natural ergonomic, on my sculpt on the main keyboard. There's just that little bit less pressure, and it's subtle, but a lot of this is subtle. Like the big key things are having it at an angle so it slopes away from the center of the keyboard. That's going to make a big difference over it being flat. But having it tilted back so it curves back a bit, because if you look at these, you can see that they curve back. That makes a big difference, because your arms, your elbows are rotated in a bit to type anyway. The reason you have these fully split ones is that you can split them fully apart, but naturally your arms sort of curve in a bit. So the curve back helps as well, because you want it to be not only at an angle in fact, let's bring up this. Just so I can better demonstrate what I'm talking about. So not only do you want, like, if you're looking straight on this keyboard, you don't only want it to be angled like that, because your hands, when you hold them out, your fingers are naturally curved that way, but from the front you want it curved that way, because your fingers, like when your hands are curved, your fingers are naturally like in a line like that. So it's basically the way they try to work this out is, okay, put your hands in the most comfortable resting position possible. Okay, now rather than you adjusting to fit the keyboard, let's make the keyboard fit you as much as possible, so that you have to put as little pressure on your joints, your tendons and so on work. I mean, it's one reason why, for example, you also get vertical mice. Because if you just rest your hand on the desk, your hand is not like palm down towards the desk. Your hand naturally tilts. It's tilted at an angle. It's sort of like you want the side of your hand and your little finger sort of naturally rests on if you put it in the most natural position. So that's why things like this vertical mouse exist, because that's a bit more comfortable of a position. Now for me, the mouse isn't that big a problem. Like, it will probably help a bit with my elbow ever so slightly, but it's not that big an issue. And the bigger issue for me is having a mouse pad with a decent wrist rest on it. The keyboard is a big issue. So it's one of those things of you can do it because you can have them as a straight line like this, but for example, the sculpt is sort of curved like this, and then it is curved like that in terms of the actual characters and so on. So it's curved in all sorts of directions to try and make it fit as much as possible. The Ergo, like Logic Ergo, looks like it's pretty much the same. And like I say, it also, when you have a keyboard, I just rub this out. if you think of like the Apple keyboard, you look at it from the side, it's like that, and it's a wedge shape going down like that. And a lot of keyboards, they'll probably be flat, and you've got the feet on the back like that. That again is the wrong way round. Ergonomic keyboards go this way. So my sculpt sort of curves back like this, and it has stuff on the bottom. The Logitech Ergo, same. Rather than having just it's either flat, or you can attach the stand. The Logitech Ergo can be flat, or you can have, I believe it's 4 degrees back or 7 degrees back. Yeah, -4, -7. So you can see here, if I zoom in, not like you're zooming in, but you can see the feet are here, and there's just a gradual slope backwards. So that's another area where ergonomic keyboards help. And it's, like I said, it takes a while to get used to them, but once you do, especially just the basic split keyboards like these, they aren't that hard. If you're touch typing, you're used to generally not crossing over. It's usually when it's like, occasionally you may, on a regular keyboard, you may do I wouldn't say it's the incorrect touch type thing, but like with your right index finger, go for a T when you actually want to have your left index finger go for that. Because obviously the T is here, the Y is there. So it's just generally how it works out. And also certain keys are different sizes because they stretch them out, shrink them down. So it's something to get used to, but it helps a lot. I mean, since you saying you primarily use a laptop, I used to primarily use a laptop, and then I got really bad RSI because laptops are, it's like almost like they're purpose built to be the absolute worst ergonomic computer possible. Because if you are being ergonomic, you want the screen about an arm's length away from you. You want a keyboard that is like big enough and curved enough. You want a pointing device that is ideally to like one side of something, so it's a bit easier to use. Though a trackpad being where it is, if you're using your thumbs, is okay, but you have to switch to your fingers usually for that. And then the other thing is, you want the top of the screen at eye level. The problem with a laptop is the screen's all the way down at the bottom. The keyboards are generally a bit smaller than normal. They're all straight keyboards and flat keyboards, and it gets even worse. Like I was originally using, I think it was the titanium, and you'd rest your hands on the wrist rest area, but the thing is that bit along the end would cut into your wrist, so that was basically causing me to get RSI in my wrist. So I switched to using an external monitor and an ergonomic keyboard. I got the Natural Ergonomic 4000, and that made a huge difference. It helps your neck get better, improves your posture, gets everything. I've spent a lot of money on ergonomics because I have learnt that that is the best investment you can get. Like before you start investing in a way better computer, invest in a better desk, a better chair, a better keyboard and mouse, because they will have far more impact on your quality of work long term than a faster computer. And the investment pays for itself. So that is the biggest recommendation. When people say, how do I improve my gear as a programmer or anyone else working on a computer? get a desk that at the very least is at the appropriate height. If you can get a sit stand height adjustable desk, then that's even better. But if not, just get a desk that is at a decent height for you. Get a chair that gives you proper back support and is comfy, and get a decent keyboard and mouse, and that will massively improve your quality of life. Anyway, with all that discussion, I am going to go and do another thing that you need to do to stay healthy and hydrate. So I am going to go and refill my drink, and when we get back, we will do something else that helps people better utilize computers, which is get this accessibility stuff implemented. So I will see you all in a few minutes. Okay, I am back and I have refreshments. So let's get started on making our crop handles accessible. Because if I turn voiceover on at the moment,
Voice out of version. You are
we've got an
currently
image,
no visible title to interact.
but
Inspect
there's nothing to interact
You are
with.
currently on an voiceover off.
So what we're going to do is we're going to rename this and we're going to make a context property so that we can throw a struct on. So here we are going to create a struct. X, which is going to our page ID and a component looking at a bit of those, and here our element context is going to be a sounds of context. ID and component. Here we want to get the canvas view. Resize context equals our handle context as a resize handle context. Our resize context, build and run, that should all work. Okay, we're also going to rename this because it isn't just resizing, because we'll be able to use this exact same thing for when we do the points on the not only for cropping but for the hotspots. So that will help us in a more general point of view. So let's name this. What could be a movable handle, possibly. Handle. Oh, that's a fair point. It's movable with an E. Apparently either works. Either works. Oh. Cancel that. At the delegate. And then once that is done, we'll just make sure it compiles, because being Xcode, you cannot always trust refactoring. And that is complaining about alignment. Open the opening bracer. That compiles that. I have no idea what that actually fixed. Anyway, so we have our context there. Move this out of the canvas editor. And it can go into probably miscellaneous. Right. So now we can reuse this in our crop view. So in here we're going to set up ability. So the first thing we want to do is with our canvas set ability element true and self dot set accessibility role. Because group is just generally a useful thing, and it's going to have elements underneath. Then we're going to do private func update ability. Right, and then we want our handles, which what we can probably do, rather than creating a load of properties, we just do a private var accessibility handles is of type drag handle movable handle accessibility element. Then we can update handle. What we're going to do is top left, top right, bottom right, bottom. Probably want it to be top left, top right, left right, bottom left, bottom right. And if we do it in that order. Alright, so our drag handle. Top left, top right, left, right. Oh, that's an interesting part because you need to be able to move it as well. Do you? Let's just do the resize handles. I can look at that later. Right, so we have our drag handles, and what we want to do with them is we want to iterate through. Want to create if needed, and want to update accessibility frame based on of the interaction found. Oh.
Welcome. You've got mail.
And that's a fair point. It may not always be visible. Okay, well, we've got the order we want them to be in. So, our drag handle in drag handle. Let's do a private phone ability handle for drag handle. And let handle equal of dot accessibility handles. that. Okay. That all handles then. So if the handle is equal to self.movable handles.drag handle, then what we want to do is just return the handle. Otherwise, I'm going to create a new one. I guess that has to be option. Because let frame equals drag handle dot direction bound action bound. Self.drawing. Also return nil. Then the frame localized label. We can fix that later. And the parent is going to be self. Then want our context, which is construct. Contacts. Yeah. We don't want. Just want the drag handle. That. Drop handle contacts with drag handle. Oh, not contacts. And then want to set ourselves as the delegate, but what we're going to do is just comment that out for a sec, and then we're going to return the handle, but not before doing full handle drag handle equals handle. Don't want a dot on there. Okay, so we've got our accessibility handle there. So for drag handling handle, if accessibility. Cardlet handle equals accessibility handle for drag handle. I'll continue to handle dot set accessibility frame. Being NS accessibility dot screen rect from view self. We want to get the handle. We also want to get frame, and then we're going to have children equal will handle ability element, and we're going to add handle. And then we're going to self.set accessibility children is equal to children, and that's equal. Right type of oh, for crying out loud. Fine, we'll do it that way. So at some point I really need to I want to change my indentation, because for some contract work I'm having to use tabs and there's all sorts of complexities. Actually, just change that one. That one. Always defaults to append contents of for some reason with me, and I have not figured out why. I think it's probably just thinks I need to use that because I used it once, and then every time I go to use append it suggests that, and because I'm not paying attention and I just hit enter and it selects it, it's like, oh, I was correct, so therefore I'm going to suggest it even harder in the future. And I haven't been able to reverse it ever. Select. Right. Um. Okay, so that's built. So let's see if this sets up our accessibility handles. There we go here. Switch crop mode.
Voice in scroll area. Precise handle. Precise handle. You are currently on a handle. In precise handle. Image. Precise handle. Precise handle. You are currently on a
Okay,
handle.
so we're not getting the
Voice
correct locations. Let's see what those locations actually are. Got a crop view. Okay. So it's frame is 259. That makes no. That's there. Which that is there. So why is that there? What have I set up? Oh, I wonder. That. What are the handles? Right. Super view. Soft start update accessibility handles. Because when the view is created, it doesn't have constraints on it. So, if we switch now.
In scroll area. Precise handle. Precise hand. Precise image. You are currently on an image. Inside a precise hand. Precise hand.
Okay. So once we resize.
Precise handle. You are current. Voiceover off.
Everything is set up. So thought that would fix it. Guess. Oh, does it have drop rec set? Alright, let's see if that works.
Voiceover on Coppice. Sample document. Scroll area. In scroll.
There we go.
Precise handle.
So we have our elements appearing now. So they'll just say resize handle at the moment. So what we're going to do is do some tweaking of that. We are going to switch on self. And of course Xcode gets it wrong, because why would Xcode get it right? Doing the right thing be too much effort. Return ns localize string left. That for now, because I'm not actually going to localize the app for a while. Actually, we don't want to include resize handle name. Want it to be top left, top right, right, bottom right, bottom left, and left. That. So let's build and run again. Alright, switch over.
Sidebar. In scroll area. 9 items. Top handle. Top right handle. Left handle. Right handle. Bottom left handle. Bottom handle. Bottom right handle. Bottom.
Okay,
Voiceover.
that is all working fairly well. So what we need to do now is if we that if we enable that, we're going to create an extension image editor crop view. We're going to conform to Google handle accessibility element. Did move handle by delta. Print handle delta. Um. Okay, I'll return delta because this allows us to adjust this because we don't always want it to move. We'll build and run. And all adding the delegate has done is allow us to log it out. So this would have worked before where we can do
Voice in scroll area. Top right
Go-
handle. Bottom
go
right
here.
handle. In bottom right handle. You are currently on
and
inside a scroll area.
we're shifting by delta.
Voiceover off.
Now that moves by quite a large delta. So, have we changed delta on here? Okay, so why is that? Oh,
In top left right bottom right handle. In bottom right handle. You are currently on a handle inside a scroll area.
shifting by. Is
Voiceover
that?
off.
Interesting. So, by 6.
Voiceover in top handle. In top handle. You are currently on a handle inside a scroll area.
So it's moving by 2 times
Voiceover
size.
off.
And what we probably want to do Um. Hmm.
Voice scroll in scroll area. Top handle. You are currently on a handle. In top handle. Adjust. Character. Word. Windows. Navigation. Adjust. Characters. Adjust. Navigation. Adjust. Characters. Adjust. Closing. Volume menu. Volume. Closing. Volume menu. Voiceover help menu. 5 item. Commands help closing. Commands help menu. Top hand. Voiceover help menu. 5 item. User guide. Commands help menu. 13 items. General menu. 80 items. You are commands help menu. Information. Size and position menu. 21 items. You are currently in a voiceover menu. This is a list of voiceover menu options. Closing. Size and position menu. Top handle. You are currently on a handle, inside a scroll area.
Oh, that may
Out of
bit.
top. S. Vertical split. Scroll area. In scroll area. Top handle. Out of scroll area. In scroll area. Top handle. In top handle. Out of top. In top handle. Commands help menu. General.
How?
Size and position. Start.
So you can
down
move
a bit.
down a bit by doing. How do you move up a bit?
Move up a bit. Control Option Shift up arrow.
Oh,
You are
option.
currently in a voiceover menu. This is
Well,
a
that's
list of voiceover
kind
menu
of
options. Move up.
ridiculous.
Start moving item. Control Option. Accent. Top handle. You are currently on a handle inside a scroll area. Start moving window 3 inches right. Right. 3 left 0. Left 3 inches right. 3 inches up. Down. 0.5 0 left. Right. 3 inches. Stop moving the window.
I think what we need to do for this is potentially
Out of top handle. Image.
um
Currently on image. Inside a scroll area. To begin interacting with the contents of this image.
probably
press
want
Control,
to
Option, Shift,
half.
down arrow. To stop interacting with this scroll area, press Control, Option, Shift X code. Coppice,
So
image
if
for
we
Delta. Period. E. Right parenthesis. Period. Left. V. Space.
are
A.
delta
A D,
equal
D. Voiceover
delta
off.
wide 0.5. And what that should do
Sidebar. In scroll area. Top handle. Top right, left, right, bottom, bottom,
okay,
right.
so
Handle.
those are in the wrong
Bottom,
place.
top left, handle. In top left, handle. Voiceover off.
Right.
Voice in top handle, top right, left hand, right handle. You are bottom right handle. In bottom right handle. You are currently on a handle inside a scroll area. Voiceover off.
Oh, that's a fair point. We need to set that calling delegate false. Then, Elton, that should work. So we go in. No, we don't interact with that. We want to interact with that.
Top handle. In top handle. Out of top right handle. In top right handle. You are currently on a handle. Out of top right handle.
That works better.
Voiceover.
Right, so we're already adjusting it. We also want... While we're doing this, adjust the crop rate. And we've got a maximum size. VR image size. Yeah. So what we will do is in here, we're going to guard let context equals handle dot context as handle context else delta, and then what we're going to do here is from the context we're going to get out the drag handle, and we're going to get the adjust out of initial rect self dot crop rect adjusted delta self dot image size. I believe that just updates the crop rect. Yes. So we will do self dot crop rect equals that. Now I can already foresee a potential problem.
Voiceover. Out scroll. Vertical scroll. In scroll area. In top left handle. You are currently on
Oh,
handle.
no, that's
Inside
working
scroll
fine. So there we have things working.
Out of top bottom left handle. Top handle. Out of scroll area. S. You are currently on a scroll area. Vertical splitter. Scroll area. In scroll top image. Top handle. In top handle. You are currently on a handle.
Now that is still moving up, but... And you can move from side to side, which you shouldn't be able to do. But that is working to some degree, so we'll get those last few bits polished off. Right, let me just commit. Okay, so how do we
Coppice. In voiceover off.
want to? Correct. Correct goes there, but what we're going to out. Oh. And see what the difference is. So for example, if we go here and then interact, if I go down, go up, see that the X has moved, the height has moved. If we go there, see they are identical. If we go there, they are identical. So, adjusted delta equals new crop rect not equal that has moved equals crop rect not equal self dot crop rect, and if has moved then adjusted delta are we 0. And that should give us what we want. So we will go in here. We will turn on voiceover. We'll go to our crop UI. Go in and interact. So we can move down. But you cannot move side to side. You cannot move up beyond. But you can move there, but you can't move beyond. Aha. So that is a bug.
Right handle. In right handle. You are currently on a out of right hand bottom left bottom right left handle in left handle. You are out of right hand left
But
right,
it
bottom left
fixes
bottom right,
it.
handle. You are currently on a handle inside a scroll area. To stop interacting with this scroll area, press Control Option Shift up arrow. Bottom right handle. Voiceover off.
Is it? So we can also potentially to make that a var, what we can do is var dot just the delta dot x equals new crop rect dot width minus that width, and we do the height and the height. That should fix that because that sets the adjusted delta to the difference, which in most cases will be the value that it was before, but in cases where it can't move that much, it should be limited. And then it will be as moved, so it will be returned by the adjusted delta. But if it hasn't moved, then it will be 0. Okay, let's try this. Alright, so go here, try again.
Sidebar in top right. In top right handle. You are
Okay,
currently on the handle inside the scroll area. Voiceover off.
Let me just check something.
Voiceover top right in top right handle. You are current.
Okay, so I just have the Y needs to be inverted.
Equal hyphen left self prop run. You are currently on a text area inside a scroll area. To stop interacting with this scroll area, press build succeeded. System dialog. Coppice. Sample document Coppice doc window. Site vertical image. You are currently on an image. To begin interacting with the content. Sidebar vertical scroll area in scroll area. Top right. In top right handle. You are
So
currently
you
on
can
the
go
handle.
down, go up, go that way. Hey, it works.
Out of top right.
So we have full accessibility for shopping.
Voiceover off.
So that is pretty fantastic. Fitted is ticket. Where's Jira gone? Controls crop handles 402. Okay, shopping accessible. Push that up. Okay, so we're going to end up having to do similar things when we get into hotspots, because you're going to have your hotspots here, and you're going to want to be able to select them, move them, or go in and edit the reset center. So this is going to be a lot more involved, and we're going to have to tackle this later on in the week. Thankfully, I should be doing a Friday stream this week, so we should be good there. Right. So yeah, that is looking surprisingly good. So if I do the usual thing of quitting Jira and relaunching Jira to refresh it, because the reload command doesn't work, we can see what we have left to do. We'll finish that. So select invoking hotspots in view mode. We have editing hotspots, creating hotspots. Then all of our accessibility stuff should be done. Oh no, we've got to make the link control completions accessible. So once that's done, all of our stuff should be accessible. And then it's stuff like updating the manual and the what's new page and doing the press kit and the sample document. Oh, there is one thing I have just realised. To disable circle and polygon hotspots for non-pro use, because those are meant to be pro features. Match pro editor and next version. Great. But I would say we are looking pretty good, and I think for the website we just need to update the Coppice Pro page. So I would say we're looking fairly good for end of the month. I'm assuming Friday we should hopefully be able to get a lot of the accessibility stuff done and get all that finished up by the end of Monday next week. And then updating the sample document and the press kit and the what's new and the manual, that should only take a day. So a week on Saturday, should be able to get those done, which would take us to a week on Saturday would take us to the 30th of April. So the following week or the week after, we should be okay to release, if all goes well. So that should be pretty exciting, getting the first release out of the year. And the first release since I started streaming. It has certainly taken a while to get to this point. This has been a much longer process than I expected. I have had some things that have slowed me down a bit and got in the way, and various things that I thought, oh, that'll only take a week, have ended up taking about a month. So there are many things that have ended up slowing us down. But yeah, I think we're looking good. And we will be streaming on Wednesday evening. I still need to go through Streamline and work out exactly what I want to do and get some tickets and basically get the version fleshed out and what the screen should be, because we're going to be doing some design work, so we're going to be spending a lot of time in Photoshop on Wednesday evening. And if we can get that done, then we will get back to doing our usual coding, but it's just been a bit hit and miss, because I haven't been as locked in on what I want to do, and I'm not someone who can just amble about trying to find what is going on and work out what the app should be. So I'm just trying to see if we have someone who could raid. We have some web developers. We have... Ooh. Kernel hacking. No, sadly, I've got adverts to go through just to have a look. So, for anyone in chat, what are you up to for the rest of the day, and how was your weekend of the Easter? Because I think for this evening, my plans are to relax for a bit and get Coppice, get the streamline stuff sorted out. Let's... The problem I always have, finding someone to raid. Let's go with some Linux kernel hacking. Looks interesting. So, alright, let's... Oh, raid. Right, so now that that is all set up, I want to thank you all for joining me today. It's been a very productive stream. We've got quite a lot done. And show off how you actually go about doing some accessibility stuff with custom views and so on. But as always, until Wednesday evening, I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day, a wonderful week ahead, and happy coding.